So I went to go see Sinners yesterday, and as good as I'm sure you've heard it is, it's probably better. There's a lot that I probably could talk about with Sinners. I'm working on writing up a review right now, and I'll do another video when it's ready. But I want to start with this, because these niggas was strapped. Oh, I should also probably say right here, there will be spoilers in this video, so if you haven't seen it yet, roll on. Anyways, in case you didn't catch the backstory of the Smokestack twins, Michael B. Jordan's characters, before they came back home to Mississippi, they were living in Chicago working with the mob, Al Capone's people. And before that, they were veterans in World War I. Why do I care about this? Because I just got done reading, I listened to the audiobook, but reading this book, This Nonviolent Stuff Will Get You Killed by Charles E. Cobb Jr. And it's kind of a memoir, kind of a history book, but it's basically about the so-called nonviolent civil rights movement of the 50s and 60s and the crucial role that militant armed resistance by Southern Black communities played in keeping those movement organizers alive and organizing. Because they were organizing in the South. They were organizing in Ku Klux Klan territory. And so in order to prevent white supremacist militias from doing what white supremacist militias are going to do, community members in these Southern communities, as well as some of the organizers that they were protecting, had to work together to take up arms to defend themselves on multiple occasions in multiple places. Now, in discussing why that was the case, one of the things that Charles Cobb talks about is how commonplace guns were and honestly still are in Southern culture, especially Black Southern culture. And one of the reasons for that is the prevalence of Black veterans. And he takes it as far back as the Civil War, right? Because we know that Black people fought in the Civil War too. And after the war was won, during the disaster that was Reconstruction, a period of time during which many newly emancipated Southern Black people formed autonomous communities, only to face persistent harassment and retaliation by white supremacist militias and white supremacist local governments. A lot of Civil War veterans who still lived in those communities and still had their weapons took it upon themselves to defend their communities. And this trend of newly returned Black veterans using their military training and tools to arm and defend their communities continued all the way through to the 1950s and 60s, through World War I and World War II. In some ways, I think we see echoes of this today because a lot of Black communities are honestly still really heavily militarized. Switches and Dracos and all sorts of crazy shit. Now, the way that those skills and resources are organized today is complicated, enough so that it should probably be the topic of a whole nother video. But everybody's talking about their favorite historic details from Sinners, and that's one of mine. The Smokestack twins, veterans of not just a world war, but gang wars as well, returned home with the intention of using everything that they had learned and gained, everything, to the benefit of their community. So yeah, I don't know. Let me know if you caught that while you were watching it, if you had the same thoughts, different thoughts, similar thoughts, whatever. See you in the next one.